Alright, making a video. Having kind of a bad afternoon, but, you know, shit happens. You know, very irritating shit often. Anyway, this, whatever, InsipidYouAre has made some sort of video making a mockery, making a mess again. You know, it's like the Texas version of To Be Serious or something. Oh, so annoying she is going to be, no doubt about it. So anyway, she makes this, whatever, 4-minute junk video saying absolutely nothing, and basically just coming up with this new, brilliant way of saying, well, is the glass half empty or is the glass half full? You know, you could focus on your one thumb down, or, you know, you could look at all the thumbs up. Oh, it's just so nauseating. It doesn't really deal, it's a completely inadequate metaphor. I mean, even the glass metaphor is totally inadequate, because it's not a relative comparison in the first place. But it sort of is in some respects. I mean, that's how we live our lives, obviously. Most people are kind of focused on what do other people have, and they acclimate to a condition of living. You know, and in some places in the world, you're happy just to have 2 arms and 2 legs. And in other places in the world, you know, if you don't have some nice clothes and a house to live in and a few other things, then you're a piece of shit. So yeah, or you're going to feel like shit anyway. Everybody's going to make you feel like shit. Because yeah, we're dependent on this whole hierarchy thing and having our ego boost and all this other bullshit that goes with life in civilization or in cultures. Yeah, there's lots of these emotional games to be played. But anyway, like I said, these metaphors are just stupid because they aren't metaphors for pain and suffering and versus your pleasures. You really, you know, I don't even think you can find a metaphor for something like sentience in the first place that's adequate. You know, the elements of this idea of pain and this idea of pleasure, because there are extremes on both ends, and this blob of whatever, vacuous nothing in the middle, what we call comfort, being satisfied, not urgently in need of doing anything, whatever that is. Yeah, versus these ecstasy moments and these long, hard, potentially very difficult crisis-type moments of hard, distracting, consuming miseries. But again, just trivializing the whole thing, like, yeah, okay, yeah, being diagnosed with cancer is like a little thummy down, blah, 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 blah. You know, having ALS is just a little thummy down, no big deal. Just look at your thummy uppies, and everything will be just fine. This is just tripe. There's nothing you can do with this crap. You know, and going even back to the glass metaphor, well, what's the glass made out of? What's this container that we're filling with our mixture of adequateness? You know, if we're going to say all it has to do, I mean, is a swimming pool still good if it only has, it's half full? Yeah, I don't think there's too many people go in it. You know, it's lots of things that being half empty isn't going to be good enough. So, you know, half empty ain't much to be proud of. And I guess that's part of this whole argument, that if life was so kick-ass and so deserving of everybody's, oh, let's all give a cheer for life. Let's impose it on people. Let's discount their suffering. Oh, they're just poopers and naysayers and naggers. Well, if life is so brilliant and it can overwhelm all those arguments, that it's a very dangerous, high-risk game imposed on people, and imposed on the to-be sentient, and in many circumstances just overtly horrific. You know, just born under the worst circumstances and in the worst condition, and you endure just a hard, brutal existence of fighting off all kinds of conscious harassments and antagonisms and miseries as such. Yeah, well, if it's just so, why can't you demonstrate that? Why are you struggling so hard to rationalize and excuse. I mean, when Professor Anton made his list of little joyful, happy pappies, you know, they were sitting around the fire, or watching the sunset, or petting the dog, and blah, 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 blah. I mean, crap. How much would I pay to do any of those things? I mean, realistically, how much would I pull out of my pocket and put on the counter to go buy myself some dog petting, or some special moment with grandma, or whatever the fuck? What? Yeah, I might go for 58 cents. And how much would I pay to avoid ALS? How much would I pay to avoid, you know, some horrible whatever disease that, you know, wipes out my intestines, and I got a colostomy bag and all that crap and blah blah. How much would I pay to avoid that shit? Yeah, it's gonna be big fucking money. That's right, big goddamn money I'll pay. So that's a joke here. If we bang this down to some real economy, we come up with a real exchange, a value exchange rate here. It's going to become apparent, quite apparent, quite quickly, that the things with the heaviest mass, the things that really weigh, things that have real hard, smashing value, aren't the little puppy dog moments. No, those are hard, suffering with your head in the toilet moments. Those are the ones you want to get out of as possible, and you'll pay. You'd sacrifice a ton of little puppy petting, you know, to avoid that shit. And that's the damn fucking truth. This is all just so bullshitty. And it also just insults the whole foundational argument that these people can't even get in their heads. They don't even understand what they're arguing against. And we have to concede that we are desire machines. This isn't just bullshit jargon pulled out of nowhere that doesn't mean anything. It's a pretty explicit description of what takes place inside our psychology that propels us to need and desire. It propels us to move in the world. It's this mechanism of deprivation, of feeling like we need it. You know? I mean, that's the real mechanism. We see it and we want it, and we will work to get it because we think, you know, and sometimes we think quite rationally that having it will satisfy us, that we will feel better, that we will be more comfortable. I mean, unfortunately, in most circumstances, we just reacclimate to a sense of deprivation. You know, once you have your 25-inch TV, you want your 30, and then you're 35, and then you're 40, and it's kind of an insatiable mechanism where you just keep thinking a little bigger, a little longer, a little more will somehow make the difference, you know, but it really doesn't, not over the long term. It's usually only a temporary fix until some other nagger, some other mechanism of dissatisfaction and incompleteness and unfinishedness rises to the top of your list. It's like we all have an endless list of things to do. You know, you wipe one off and there's some new one. Unfortunately for me, all my old ones keep popping back on the fucking list. God damn it. These people suck. You know. Anyway, sorry. Totally unrelated. This real life crap that just really pisses me off. I'm so sick of people being lying pieces of shit. I mean, could they try to be something else for a change? Oh, fuck. Anyway, so much for the real world. Yeah, the real world's full of as many liars as the fucking internet. Anyway, where was I? Well, assholes anyway. Where was I? Yeah, so you can't get anywhere here. We're just chasing and chasing and chasing for the sake of the chase. Just as the DNA molecule is reproducing for the sake of reproduction. It doesn't have an agenda, it doesn't have a brain, it doesn't have a will. It's just a little mechanism that reproduces. And now it's made us into little mechanisms that chase. a perception of value. We're not chasing real value. We're chasing a perception of value, a perception of a future satisfaction that will be incomplete. And that's the truth. It will not be perfect because you can't sustain it. You can't keep it. It really is fragile. You get to the top of the mountain, you get that exquisite view moment, and then you start realizing that you're freezing to death and suffocating. And that's reality. And then you got to do something about that. You got to fix that problem. I mean, every solution almost has problems tied to it. New things, new contingencies have to be developed and worked on. It's an insidious balance, and the balance is all decidedly on the negative. It's a lottery. Very few people get through the game making any money, and the rest of them just have their pocket picked, slow but sure, a few pennies at a time. And that's life. And this stupid, constant effort to defend it without a rational argument, to defend it with babbling mush. Oh, don't look at the little negative, dummy. Oh, it is so trite, trivial, infantile, just goddamn baby talk, to be masqueraded as some kind of serious conversation about reality. Yes, let's metaphor life as a Tonka toy. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Fail. Waste of space and time. Yeah, the truth means something, especially when if you're going to put that in the capital letters in your video, or reality, then you ought to say something meaningful. You ought to be able to do a hell of a lot better than a completely lame, redo of the old half full, half empty metaphor. Like I said, especially when it's not even applicable to the reality. One drop of hard suffering is all you need in your glass to wipe out all of it, to turn it all into toxic waste. You want a metaphor? Yeah, it's the bad apple metaphor. One apple full of arsenic and the pie is unedible. It's ruined. So keep pretending, that somehow all balances out. It's all okay in the end. Billions of years of animals ripping each other's flesh off. Human beings conniving and scheming for their little minor glory moments that are usually related to some cheap ego dominance thrill. I defeated him, or, I taught her a lesson. All this, I told them so. All this superiority bullshit dancing is 90% of what the human race feeds on. And it's disgusting what the pigs are eating. Yeah. So I can see this is just going to be a problem child, so to speak. I mean, I blocked her for good reason, and the good reasons become obvious. She's already trolling on other videos, making snide comments about Gary. The same old routine. Just so tiresome. So yeah, not much else to say, but you're an idiot. An obnoxious, arrogant one. And there's nothing else to say. Go sit at the idiot table or something. Shoo, scat, scram. Go make videos until you grow a brain. Thank you very much. Till next time and such.